The AMC dark pool, zero shorts liquidity, the phony share price, and many other topics will be covered in this one. We'll start by examining the AMC DOP warning. It's more than 1.46 million shares, or 72% of the entire volume, were traded off exchange today. Just 10% of the movement was seen on the NYSE behind the scenes. Market making and hedge funds are trying to prevent the general public from learning about the prices they are concealing. Real demand and buying time are being blocked by discovery. But how long can they continue this when liquidity runs out? We've always discussed this, and it's critical to highlight the harm it causes to AMC. Due to the fact that more than 72% of trades take place in the dark pool, while traders in the dark P have no influence because their trades do not reach the late exchange. This implies that because AMC is based on dark pool, its price would not increase, even if millions of people purchased it. However, if a single short ORD was received for AMC based on the lit exchange, and more than 1 million buy orders were received for AMC but were in the dark pool for longs, that may actually lower the price. We have discussed how we have never seen a real pricing because of this. Discovery reports that the DO pool accounts for over 72% of trades, and that buy orders typically outnumber sell orders. This indicates that they are hid in price, as we previously stated. They want to remove any bullish pressure they can from AMC, especially since movies are returning in large quantities and short hedge funds. Placed a lot of bets on the company's 2019-20 decision. Discovery is stifling real demand and buying time because when you suppress demand and price, people don't want to buy in. Those wagers are probably supported by securities in an overpriced market that is on the verge of going completely red. According to general market statistics, maybe it's time to get the popcorn out. What you can see is just essentially seeing the collaterals. And what we have to understand is that one of the things we knew with how the short sellers were able to over-leverage on their positions on AMC was because they took a large amount of collaterals. They took a large amount of loans. One of the things we first talked about was obviously the reverse repo, and you can firstly see that the reverse repo is 100 under a 100 billion. What we seeing is 97 now. This was one of the easiest ways for these institutions to get easy access to liquidity. It was one of the things that allowed them to finance their short positions out the peak. Obviously, the reverse repo reached $2 trillion. We're now seeing it at 97, and what we've also seen is the decreasing liquidity. So you can obviously see the relationship between the two. But another thing is also talking about, and you guys can see here, security collaterals. One of the things they've done was they used other stocks as a way of collaterals, and one of the stocks we've talked about in the past was obviously NVIDIA. And you can see how the price and value of NVIDIA has increased drastically in the last few years, and so has their collateral value, and this is one of the reasons they were able to prolong this whole process. But now what's coming up? It's obviously the decline of the Class RS. We're seeing the decline of NVIDIA and the reverse repo, and we're going to see the decline of the stock market as a whole. Nevertheless, we are aware that their collateral and the funds they previously contributed for margin to fund their short positions would likewise depreciate when all of this collapses. But this is obviously not going to work out well for them. Additionally, ignore the phony news. AMC's stock price is declining as a result of the no bad company revelation. Trust the business. Even though AMC branded popcorn is selling like crazy and the movies are doing well, the share price we see is unrealistic. As we have discussed in other videos, short sellers will eventually give up. But as you can already see from today's video, the collateral's disintegration, whether it be the reverse repo or security collaterals, is evidence that they were able to obtain a significant amount of money that they shouldn't have. They used it for AMC and other items like D-Pool to keep the price low. This is how we know that AMC's pricing isn't a true reflection of its worth. Additionally, AMC's market capitalization is currently approaching 2019 levels, when the film industry was believed to be extinct. Since then, AMC has weathered a pandemic, and a strike-optimized OPEX brought its debt under control. Stin intends to turn a profit on movie sales in 2025. Title stated for success. How would you act if short in AMC? And what we've talked about already was talking about how the fundamentals of the short are failing, and we talked about how AMC is doing well, and this is exactly what we're seeing. Firstly, you have to understand is that we are in a price where this is only reflected when AMC had to shut down their theaters due to COVID-19, so we are at the same price when AMC couldn't actually operate as a company, so then, already from that you can see how we are not reflecting a true value, a true price of what AMC is worth, because how can AMC be worth the same as when it wasn't operating, especially with everything we have going on? Remember that AMC's fundamentals have only increased since then. AMC has increased and improved the revenue streams, so, realistically speaking, AMC should be at least worth above that price and not the same, and so obviously we know that. That is because of the suppression. Another thing is you can see that shortened headphones are getting desperate. XRT equally weights 80 companies in the ETF. Despite making up only 1% to 2% of the ETF, it is being sold short at annual lows to keep AMC low. We have already identified and discussed one stock, and this is how the ETF bus was able to attack it. In essence, you should be aware that these businesses have been attempting various methods to thwart AMC, and that they are currently employing this tactic more frequently. We'll see how much more difficult things get for them now, because as I mentioned before, one of the primary causes is that their capital is declining, which reduces their liquidity. When we consider it, we'll realize that they're struggling to keep AMC down and will ultimately have to give up. There was another factor that held AMC back. I think short sellers are compelled to exit their holdings above a certain price-time cure threshold. It is our responsibility to convene whether kohrs and Partners has managed to secure a route over that level. As we have already discussed in this video, this is evidently quite easy to understand. Clearly, the threshold refers to the point at which short sellers will be unable to maintain their short positions. This is sold for the very straightforward reason that they run out of liquidity, which is the main objective. As we discussed how the liquidities and collaterals are all failing and declining, that moment is drawing nearer and nearer. The moment when they must shut their positions is drawing nearer, since we can watch this happening in real time. Next step is to discuss how kohrs has managed to establish a way past it, which is with the principles, as we have seen. If you want to look even more closely, the domestic box office for the first quarter of 2025 is already above $600 million. This is beneficial for AMC, since it indicates that they will have more sources of income, cut expenses, and have more members of EST. PPF screens higher merch sales. AMC is going to make big profits soon. I like the stock now. Whilst the box office isn't something that Aaron can control himself, it is something that's obviously relating with AMC. What we know is that the bigger the box office is, obviously the more money AMC will make, and that's because of multiple different revenue streams that they obviously take from. From that, one of the biggest things that we have to understand, and this is something that I always highlighted, is understanding that Adam Arad said that they are able to make the same profit, if not more, with an even lower box office because their profit margins has obviously increased. So what you have to understand is that they're able to survive. When the box office is low, they're able to make more profits now than before. When the box office is low, just imagine what would happen now that the box office is actually increasing and getting even bigger. Our proper margin is improving the box office is increasing. That is only going to mean more profits for AMC, and you can see how other firms are obviously relating to this rough MKM upgrades, AMC Entertainment Holdings. Now, when I look at these in terms of the ratings, I take it very seriously as an analyst for AMC, because they clearly use these to manipulate the price. Verifying whether institutions are purchasing AMC is one of the primary things I do. The largest evidence that this has occurred, in my opinion, is the fact that more institutions now own AMC. I hope you enjoy this film, and I hope to see you soon.